what a night it was in the league, where the Philadelphia 76ers had a 26-point lead at one point and a 99% chance of winning the game. And then the Hawks broke those odds, storming back and beating the Sixers 109-106. Trae Young had a career playoff high with 39 points, and the Hawks are now up 3-2 in that series. Now, the Clippers, they were without Kawhi Leonard last night, but Paul George stepped up in a big way and led L.A. to a road win over the Jazz, 119-111. George finished with 37 points. The Clippers will look to close out the series tomorrow in L.A. And finally, Game 6 between the Nets and the Bucks tonight on ESPN. Brooklyn will be looking to close out the series in Milwaukee, but there is plenty of uncertainty heading into that game as both Kyrie Irving and James Harden continue to deal with injuries. We are so happy to be joined by Adrian Wojnarowski right now to talk about this and some other news. And Woj, I'll start you out with the Nets. What are you hearing about the latest on Kyrie and James Harden?
Well, Ryan, now that James Harden is back on the court, you're not getting him off of it, and he'll be in the lineup for the Nets in that Game 6. But Kyrie Irving continues to rehab that ankle, get treatment on it every day. Right now, there's no expectation that we would see him in this conference semifinal series. And if the Nets do advance and beat Milwaukee, they'll hope that as he continues the treatment and rehab, perhaps there's a chance he could play in the next round, but they don't have a real timetable on Irving's return yet.
Okay, and that crucial Game 6 tonight in Milwaukee, the Nets having the chance to close it out against the Bucks. Now, I want to talk to you about the Clippers series. PG-13 stepped up in a big way, but the question is still about Kawhi. What are you hearing about his health, and is there even a possibility that he might play for Game 6?
No, there's no chance he's playing in Game 6 or if there is a Game 7 in this series. And there's not a lot of optimism that Kawhi Leonard is going to be in a place where he could play again. Even if the Clippers advance, they're going to know more about the status of that knee, the severity of that knee injury, perhaps in the next 24 to 48 hours. They are hopeful that this is not a severe injury that not only would impact him for the rest of this season, but perhaps next season. But those answers are still coming for the Clippers, and obviously that was a monumental win for them last night in Utah to have a chance now to go home and close out.
Wow, to think about this impacting Kawhi next season is a scary thought for Clippers fans. Now, I want to turn your attention to somebody who's not even playing right now, but so crucial to these playoffs, CP3. He's currently on the NBA's health and safety protocols. He's in there right now. What are you hearing about him and his status?
Well, Chris Paul, the Suns, what they're really rooting for right now is Utah in Game 6 of that other Western Conference semifinal, because that forces a Game 7 on Sunday, and it pushes back until at least Tuesday when the Suns would have to play again. It buys Chris Paul more time in the health and safety protocol. They're going to reevaluate on Saturday with Chris Paul, and I'm told that, listen, there's optimism, there's hope that he's not going to miss any kind of a significant part of the Western Conference Finals, maybe one game, but you're at the mercy of the testing and in that protocol. And so certainly the Suns just would like to be able to buy some more time here, watch the Clippers Jazz not only play a Game 7, maybe play a few overtimes in a Game 7.
That would be very good for Suns fans, and I'm certainly sure they're hearing you right now and saying, thank you, Woj, for giving us some optimism. We shall see if Chris Paul is back for Game 1. Appreciate the time, my friend.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.